Welcome back. I have a piece of railroad track here. It's 27.6 pounds and it's about 11.5 inches long. And I got two of these at an auction for 20 bucks plus about a 7% buyer's premium, which was a really good deal. So I have about 11 bucks in this thing, and I thought it would make a great hammering and forming anvil for me to use out here in the shop. You can see it's quite rusted. It's going to need some cleanup. It was actually out in an outbuilding. It needs quite a bit of work. So it'll be a fun project today that we can clean up and restore. My name is Matt. If you haven't, check out my other videos and click that like, subscribe, and share button. Keep an eye out for future content. I did power wash this piece of track the other day, and for this project, we're going to start with electrolysis. I have my parts suspended with some MIG wire and a piece of filler wire. I have the piece of wood resting on these jack stands. As I mentioned, the piece of rail is about 27 pounds. I don't want that resting on my tote. I have 4 pieces of sacrificial metal set around the outside, 2 pieces of sheet metal on the sides, and 2 pieces of L channel on the ends that I have connected all together. I have about 20 gallons of water in my tote, and I use 1/3 cup of this Arm & Hammer super washing soda per 5 gallons. So with 20 gallons, I have about 1.25 cups in here. I have my DC bench tester set up. I have the negative cable connected to the part I want cleaned. Negative, remove the rust. And I have the positive cable connected to my sacrificial metal. Positive addition, you want to add the rust. And this is bubbling away. We're gonna leave it all day long, about 10 or 12 hours, and we'll check back in then. Okay, it's been 11 hours. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. Not too bad at all. A lot of that rust has been broken up. If anything, it'll at least make it easier to get the rest of it off. What I'm gonna do is cut it off of here, and then I'm gonna wash it back up inside this tote, which has the washing soda in it. All right, I've been scrubbing on it for about 5 minutes here, and all of that rust is gone. Look at that. That looks great. That's gonna make the wire wheeling a whole lot easier. If you didn't have the electrolysis, absolutely you could have started getting after this with the wire wheel. The electrolysis does make it a lot easier to clean up though. And look how good that looks. All that rust is gone. I'm gonna clean up my tote, dry this off, and I'm gonna get it outside on the table and get to wire wheeling it. All right, I've been wire wheeling for about 10 minutes and you can see it's shining up really nice, looking a lot better. A little hard to see in the light, in the dark, but what I'm gonna do now is switch over to a flap disc, a 40 grit flap disc, and clean it up some more. All right, I've been after it with that flap disc for about 10 minutes. And man, look at that. That is shining up really nice. I think what we'll do is take it back in at this point. We'll take another look at it and see where to go from there. All right, so it's looking pretty good. I just brought it inside. Give you a little closer look. Look at that. A lot of pitting from that rust. Also some casting pitting, I'm sure. But look at that. That looks great already. What I think we'll do for tonight is shut it down. It's looking pretty good. Tomorrow morning, I'll plan to sandblast and then get back on the wire wheel and disc a little bit. Piece of rail is in the cabinet. I also found last night this forming block. It just has a light coat of surface rust. So I'm gonna throw it in there with it and sandblast at the same time. So I've been sandblasting for about 20 minutes. You can see how that piece of rail anvil looks now. And then that other piece I picked up, it's looking pretty good. That's sandblasted up very quickly. Just a little surface rust. On both of these items, I'm going to hit it again with the wire wheel. All right, I've been wire wheeling on it for about 10 minutes here. I am using a little bit different wire wheel this time, just with a die grinder. You can see it's got a little longer bristles, so it gets down into some of the casting marks a little better. But it's looking really good. Look at that. Just looks amazing. So the last thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take a little buffer wheel on an angle grinder, and I have just a little bit of metal polish I'm going to put on this towel, wipe it down real quick, very thin coat, and then buff it off with that buffing wheel. Looking good. Let's get it over the bench and check it out. We made it again. Let's take a look at the final product. The rail turned out really nice. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Wow. Yeah, I can't believe how those shine up. Look at that. Man, that is really nice. I'm very happy with that. It's going to make a really nice hammering anvil, forming anvil. These rails, you can find them about everywhere, and they clean up really nice. It looks really good. So pretty happy with that, a pretty quick project. It took us about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of total active time. Did run the electrolysis for about 12 hours. And then this is that forming anvil that I just found in the basement, had a little bit of rust on it. It was very easy to blast off, and is really a pretty piece now. I'll be able to add both of these to my collection and bring them out here and there when I need to use them. But electrolysis, wire wheels, some sandpaper, that's really all we used to make this really cool again and make it a usable item in our shop. So very cool, and I'm very happy with the outcome. So thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Matt. If you haven't done so, check out some of my other videos and click that subscribe button for me. Look out for more content to come.